sack. No, gets away. He runs, gets away again, goes to the 40, gets away again to the 35.
Hungry dogs run faster.
What is good, everyone, and welcome back to Having Juice with OJ. I'm here with my co-host Juan. What's good, bruh?
Yo.
And today we're just gonna my outfit. I know I have Yeezy slides on and I'm wearing a golf shirt. You already know I got the tea time. So we're just gonna go right into it. I asked AI, Juan. I asked him, what are the predictions for this football season, division by division?
Okay.
So we're gonna break it down. We're gonna see if it's fact or if it's cap.
All right, I like it.
We're going to start off with the AFC. We're going to start off with the East division. So, Buffalo Bills. Oh, see, they even messed it up. They have the Buffalo Bills first, but they have the Jets with the better record.
Nice.
So, the Jets, they have at 11-6.
Interesting.
So, we all know Aaron Rodgers played about 3 snaps last season. Something like that. And the Jets absolutely fell apart last season. So, what do we think? Do we think this is fact or do we think this is cap?
I got to go cap on the Jets winning, 10 or 11 games?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just don't. The division's not too bad, but you're going to have to play the Dolphins twice. Mm-hmm. Aaron Rodgers is old, coming off a major injury. I don't know. That's one of those I gotta see it before I believe it.
No, that's facts. Yeah, I would also have to go a little bit of cap on this one. I don't think you can immediately just be like, yeah, they're an 11-win team.
Yeah.
I just don't think so. I mean, yeah, Garrett Wilson's a dog and all that good stuff, and like their defense is good.
Yeah,
all that
defense
stuff
is really good.
Yeah, for sure. And Breece Hall back there with Aaron Rodgers, like we love that. But 11 games is like ridiculous just for the AI to make up this year. I just don't believe it. And then we have coming in second place for the AFC East division, Buffalo Bills at 10-7.
I find Buffalo interesting this year. I think them losing their 2 best receivers is going to be hard to replace. Mm-hmm. We kind of talked about it last week when we were talking about Josh Allen and Keon Coleman and things like that. But I don't know. I have the Bills finishing. Where did I have them? I have them second in the division, and I could easily see them finishing third behind the Jets. I got Miami winning it, in my personal opinion. Mm-hmm. Buffalo, I just think, has a lot to overcome. They have a lot of injuries already. They're light on receivers. James Cook is good. Josh Allen, he's going to win you games, but he might lose you a couple games too. So I have no idea what to think about Buffalo yet this year. That's another one of those, let's see how they do without their top threats there and then make an assumption or make a prediction off that.
No, I totally agree with you here. I mean, Josh Allen is a one-man show.
Yeah.
He can do that thing. He's proved it. He's a beast. It's sad he's had to verse, Patrick Mahomes every single time that it's an important game. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I do also think that they'll come in second. I like you said, could see them coming in third. It depends on how the Jets come out firing this year, really. I want to see how the Jets come out and how they look. I think that's more important. And having young wide receivers is just, it's tough to make a decision on it because of that.
You have no idea how good Keon Coleman's really going to be.
Yeah,
Your
exactly.
wide receiver 2 right now is Khalil Shakir, who looks good, but he's not. I don't know if he's wide receiver 2 level play on a division winning team. So we'll see. I like I said, I think AI will probably have Miami finishing third. Mm-hmm. I got Miami finishing first. I just think that offense is so strong, and Mike McDaniel is good at adapting and finding ways to. When teams find out a way to stop him, he adapts and finds out a way to combat how they're stopping him. So I think that they just have a ton of weapons. I think Tua is perfect for what they're trying to do. I don't love him, to start my franchise with, but in a situation where he's just making quick reads and getting the ball out to 2 of the fastest guys, 3 of the fastest guys in the league, I think Miami has a chance to be really good.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, like you said, Tua, he's like a game manager. He's not a game changer. I think he goes out there and you won't say Tua's going to win you a game when you've got those type of players on your squad.
Yeah.
All he has to do is put the ball where it's got to be. And like you said, those fast guys, they're going to make plays. Having Achane back there just is insane. I mean, as long as Tua's not getting concussed, they should be pretty solid. But AI does have them at 9-8 in the 3 spot. I mean, I think that they get double-digit wins for sure. I mean, I can see them with a nice 11 wins this year.
Yeah, same.
And then the last one, New England Patriots at 8-9. I mean,
that even feels generous.
Yeah.
8 wins feels generous for that team. Drake Mays looked good in the preseason, but quite frankly, they don't really have much else. I'm not a big Ramondre Stevenson guy. I think their defense is solid, but they have no real weapons. We'll see what Jalen Polk does. Kendrick Bourne is solid, but if he's your number one receiver, I don't think you're anticipating on making the playoffs. It'll all depend on what they do after this year and kind of get weapons in place for Drake May, because I thought he looked pretty good, but 8 wins is a little steep for me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're getting 2 wins away from double digits.
Yeah.
Like, I can't see it. Yeah, Kendrick Bourne being your number one, like, GG's.
Yeah.
GG's. So I call Cap. I mean, so far, what do you think about the AFC East with the ratings right here? I mean, I totally disagree with a lot of these.
I'm not loving AI's predictions on the AFC East. I can't confidently say the Jets are going to win 11 games in the season right now.
No. So AI, the AFC East is Cap. AFC North, they have the Baltimore Ravens, 11-6. Mm-hmm. What do we think about that?
I like that. I have the Ravens winning that division too.
Me too.
I just think that you've got the MVP at quarterback. You added another guy that could have won an MVP at running back, and Derrick Henry's going to add a different dynamic to that offense. We'll see how their receivers are. They were better last year. I like Zay Flowers. You've always got a Mark Andrews. That defense is always going to be coached well. They're always going to be good. So I don't see a reason for them. They made the championship game last year. Mm-hmm. I got the Ravens winning that division too.
Yeah, I call fact on that for sure.
Yep.
I think the number one spot, it's a consensus between us and AI on that one. Mm-hmm. Number 2, they got the Cincinnati Bengals with 10-7. What do we think about that? Is that fact or Cap one?
I think that one's fact too. I think those 2 teams are clearly the best in the division. The Browns will see. The Steelers will see. The Steelers are probably going to go 9-8 and keep Tomlin's streak alive for 500 games. But these 2 teams, the Ravens and Bengals, I got the Bengals too. I could see them winning the division. Injuries play a major key in the NFL, and if Burrow and Chase and Higgins can all stay healthy, there's no reason that they can't. But as of right now, I do have the Ravens over them and the Bengals at 2.
I would totally agree. I mean, I feel like these 2 teams, though, really, like you said, well, everything comes down to injuries, but these 2 teams specifically and who gets first, I think it really does. Because you're worried about Mark Andrews' health. Mm-hmm. I mean, Lamar, he'll stay on the field, but, will he be banged up?
He's always going to twist an ankle, pull a little calf.
Yeah, it's just what happens with the dual-threat quarterback where you're just running all the time. Hopefully, Derrick Henry being there helps that out a bit because people won't be just targeting him in the backfield all the time. But the Ravens have a history of their running backs going down early every year. So, and then the Bengals, like you said, Joe Burrow, man. I mean, just injury prone. Jamar Chase, I'm pretty sure he's questionable right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it, AI. We'll see how it goes. Number 3, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers, 9-8 here.
Yeah.
What do we think about this? I mean, their QB situation's all messed up, but what are we thinking?
That's another team that you have no idea what to expect from Pittsburgh. They're probably going to start Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson's been horrible the last couple years. The numbers might not say it, but watching him play, he doesn't look comfortable. He looks slow. He looks older. He looks like he's not making good decisions. The Steelers don't necessarily have anybody that's going to take a load off of him. I like George Pickens. But outside of George Pickens, you don't really have another receiver on the outside. You traded Deontay Johnson. Najee's Najee, 60 yards a game on 3.5 yards a carry. I don't love Pittsburgh in this situation, but, I think those bottom 2, the Browns and the Steelers, it's a toss-up. I got the Browns over them myself, though, so I guess I'll go Cap on that one.
Yeah, well, they have the Browns at 7-10.
Okay.
So, I mean, I do have the Steelers above the Browns here. I think their defense brings it. Like you said, there's not much outside of those 2. I've been saying Justin Fields is going to start by week 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
There's just, like you said, Russell Wilson has not looked good in general. I mean, he looks slow out there when he's supposed to be quick, and he's supposed to have this accurate arm. He's supposed to have a strong arm, and just nothing looks good out there.
Yeah. And so his decision making is just been rough.
It's actually hard to watch him out there, but I would actually have to go fact on this for the AI. I do think the Browns are just a washed organization, so I'm going to keep them at that 4 spot. AFC South, Houston Texans, they have at 10-7. What do we think about this factor cap?
I have cap on that. The reason I have cap on that, it's always harder in your second year to come out and dominate the way that they were dominating in the second half of the year last year. Teams have film on you now. Teams are game planning to stop you. You know, it's a little easier when you're a rookie and teams don't fully know your tendencies. And you had a rookie head coach last year in D'Amico Ryans too. I just think that teams kind of find ways to adjust. Stroud might have it could go one of two ways. Sometimes quarterbacks have a massive second year. Sometimes they have a bit of a slump. I like the Jags down there. I have the Jags winning that division personally.
Okay.
T-Law, Gabe Davis, Christian Kirk, Brian Thomas, ETN. I like Doug. Obviously I got a soft spot for Doug. I just find that division's always a toss-up, and I just feel comfortable taking the Jags there.
Yeah. I actually kind of call fact on this from the AI. Like you said, it can go either way with those QBs coming in their second season. I love CJ Stroud. Yeah. I mean, watching him and then the weapons that they added on offense is just absolutely insane. I mean, them having Stephon is absolutely bonkers to me still. I think Nico Collins is going to have a fantastic year this year. Joe Mixon, there's not much else I can say. I mean, I really, really like that offense. I think it's high-powered. I think that they have what it takes to take the division. I had Jags in the second spot here. Only back one game, though. Mm-hmm. So I will say that this division, out of the last two that we've just talked about, is the most close division, I would say, when it comes to talent so far.
I agree.
That it could be a toss-up for these spots 1 through 3. Even 1 through 4. It could all be a toss-up. Yeah. So I'm going fact here with the AI. They got the Colts and the Jags both tied at 9-8.
Okay.
The Colts right above them. What do we think about those?
I can see that. Like I said, so I have the Jags 1. I have the Texans 2. I do have the Colts at 3. I liked Anthony Richardson. I think that he's a bit risky with the ball sometimes. Mm-hmm. He likes to run. It's the reason that he got hurt last year. I like the pieces around him. I'm a big Jonathan Taylor fan. We'll see if that O-line comes back together. You added Adonai Mitchell to run next to Michael Pittman. That defense is solid. It is what it is, but I think that they're just a middle of the pack team all around. So 9-8 makes sense. I could even see them dropping off a bit. But it all depends on how Anthony Richardson comes out. If he's healthy and he's playing how he, kind of was in the beginning of last year, I could see them competing. But overall, as a roster, I just think they're a pretty mid team.
No, I totally would agree. I mean, they have some pieces that work. Big fan of AR. Mm-hmm. But he gives me like a Carson Wentz vibe when it comes to just making way too many risky plays.
Yeah.
It's just like, bro, it's 2nd and 10. You're running for that first down. There's no need to dive for it. He's that type of guy. Where it's like 2 yards away. He's not going to slide. He's going to go for the dive. He's going to try to get there. Those are plays that will make or break a QB's career.
They will, and it's interesting because in the early stages of his career, he's not getting paid those big bucks yet. So I feel like the organization's a bit more comfortable letting him take those shots. Once they have to pay him, you saw with Jalen, they don't want Jalen taking these big shots anymore after you pay him.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they're kind of cool with it at the moment because he's only making a couple million, but once he starts getting into that 30-40 million range, the hits are going to have to stop. And I agree, he's just a bit too risky at times, but he's young. He's trying to play hero ball. And we'll see how it goes for him. We like AR though. I think he's got the tools to do it. I think he's got to improve on his accuracy. But I think a lot of that is just kind of establishing a running game too. They weren't able to run the ball last year. JT wasn't as efficient. The O-line wasn't as good. So, I keep coming back to it. I just think they're a mid team. I just don't see anything special about the Colts.
Yeah, I would agree. So we got those two. We kind of have fact on AI that this is going to be a close division in terms of their win-losses. So I would have to say that's good with the AI. They have 4 Titans, 7-10. What do we think about this one?
That sounds pretty accurate, actually. I don't know. I don't love Will Levis. I think that he's a stopgap quarterback that's going to be there until they're able to get another one, a veteran or, even another draft. Yeah, 7-10 sounds about right for them.
Yeah, no, I mean, they got rid of Derrick Henry. Now they have Tajay Spears and they have Tony Pollard in the backfield. They're going to split carries the entire year probably. Yeah. And then what do they got? They got Calvin Ridley now.
They got Ridley and D-Hop. If this was 4 years ago, sounds beautiful. But
yeah.
I don't know. I don't really love it anymore, especially with Will Levis. D-Hop should be on a team as a veteran that's going to compete. I think D-Hop still has some juice in his legs. I think D-Hop can still produce on a solid team, but I think he's just kind of wasting down there in Tennessee.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I mean, it's honestly kind of sad.
Yeah.
As you have this guy, Will Levis, who like you said, I'm just not that high on him as a young quarterback. And also, it's just tough. I'm not that high on veteran wide receivers in general, I feel like, this year, where, it just doesn't sound good. So I like them at the 4 spot. I have to call fact on this AI. So for the last division, AFC, we got the West.
Yep.
We got the Dogs. We already know who they're going to put in first.
Yeah.
They got Kansas City Chiefs, 12-5.
Smart.
Yeah, fact.
Yeah, I'll take
That's a fact.
On that one.
So we're going to move right into the second spot here. We got the LA Chargers, 10-7. How do we think about this one?
10 wins for a first. I mean, Harbaugh's not a first-year coach, but this is first year there. Herbert's a little banged up. Their receiving core is rough. Their running back room is a bit rough. I'm a little lower on the Chargers. I got the Chargers at 3rd, so I guess I'll go cap on that one. That's another team that they could shock people and come out and actually play well. I just think that losing Keenan, losing Mike Williams, losing Eckler, those are your core pieces on offense.
Those are the 3 main things that they had.
And now you're putting Herbert in the position to have basically 2 slot guys as his number 1 and number 2 receivers. Josh Palmer's solid. They've threw out, they got Ladd McConkey, who we'll see, another rookie guy. I'm not as high on the Chargers as number 2.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I mean, they're a wishy-washy team right now in terms of the players that they have. We don't know what we're gonna get from them. Ladd McConkey, he dropped a lot of passes in preseason. That doesn't really matter too much, but it's something just to look at.
Yeah.
And Josh Palmer was a great wide receiver 3, wide receiver 3. Now, will he shine as the wide receiver 1 is what we got to see. Will Herbert stay on the field? Yeah. He's a great quarterback. He's got a great arm. He makes great throws. It's just the defenses are going to have an easier time figuring them out because they had to work.
Yeah, they can sit back in the zone and not have to worry about anybody really beating them over the top. Let them kind of work over the middle. You don't really have to respect their run game at the moment. So it's just, they're not going to let Herbert beat them solely with his arm. And I don't think that for a first-year coach that's just kind of learning these guys, the Chargers next year I feel like will be in a better position, but this year I'm not loving it.
And then in the 3 spot and the 4 spot, they got the Broncos 8-9 and the Raiders 6-11. How do we feel about that one? Fact or cap?
I got cap on that. I don't think the Raiders are great, but I think this division as a whole, besides the Chiefs, sucks. So I think that the Raiders, I think Minshew just finds a way to keep this team afloat. I don't think they have bad weapons. They've got Max Crosby who can get to the quarterback. I got the Raiders at 2 in this division, in all honesty. And then I had Denver at 4. Nothing about Denver is exciting to me. Not a single thing about Denver excites me. I think Bo Nix looked good in the preseason. Cortland Sutton is good. He's a good receiver. I like Cortland Sutton, but they don't. Greg Dulcich, who was he? Javonte Williams has been good, but he got to keep him on the field and also get him involved. I don't understand. He came back last year, and I felt like they were barely getting him involved. I have no idea what to expect out of Denver, and quite frankly, I just don't quite believe at the moment. So I got them at 4.
Yeah, I mean, with the AFC West, we already know who's going to come out of it.
Yeah.
So everybody below, it really doesn't matter that much. But AI, I think this is complete cap.
Yeah.
Raiders, definitely. Like you said, Gardner Minshew, he just knows how to win games.
Yeah.
He just goes out there and he plays the most outlandish version of football that I've ever seen. It's backyard football.
Yeah.
And he just he escapes the pocket and just runs for a 15-yard touchdown because nobody's looking at him.
Nobody.
And that mustache, it does
great.
it, bro.
It works for Vegas.
That's 8 wins just in the mustache.
Yep.
So the Chargers, no. Broncos, absolutely just hate that team. Just like you said, it's one of those teams where it's just like the Titans to me and the Browns. Those three to me are just like the teams where it's just like, And then we're going to move right into the NFC East. Your favorite division, Juan.
Oh, yeah.
We got the Philadelphia Phillies.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I like the Eagles to win the division. 12-5, I think will be rough. They got a good schedule this year. It's all going to depend on this defense. We talked about it a couple episodes ago. Even still watching preseason and watching, some summer tape, it just doesn't look great at the moment. But I think a lot of preseason is pretty vanilla. We're not trying to show too much. But I'm very worried about the defense, specifically the linebacking core. If they can keep it together and the Eagles, I think they're going to score points. I'll take them winning the division. I'll take fact on that one.
You're taking fact. I'm calling cap one.
Of course.
I'm going to call cap on that one. I'm going to say that the Cowboys are taking this division from y'all.
Okay.
But I think that it's not going to be with that 12-5 record. I think they'll have about 11 wins, and I think you guys will sit pretty at 10.
Okay.
So I'm going to call cap on that one. Your defense scares the living hell out of me.
Fair, yeah.
Scares me so much. People are so in on Cooper DeJean. And it's just, I don't know. That man looks like he plays at St. Joe's Prep. It just, I don't know.
That's
in my opinion, he really does.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that scares me. Your offense looks great. You guys look like that. It looks on paper like it should be amazing. New coordinators come in. It's tough just in general, just incorporating new things every single year. That's just tough. The beginning could start off rough. Like you said, preseason, very vanilla. You don't want to show what you can do, what your offense can do, and all your different schemes and all that good stuff. I don't know. I think it's going to be a close division with those top two right there, that it's going to be a 1 or 2 game difference.
Yeah.
So
I think always in the NFC East, it's always a pretty close matchup. The last couple of years, it's come down to the wire. So, I can completely see the Cowboys being on the Eagles' tails. The thing about the Cowboys is besides CD, I just don't see what they have on offense. Ferguson's solid. Zeke's old. I think they're about to sign Dalvin Cook. He's old. Brandon Cook's old. I just don't feel like that offense really scares me like they should. But I'm also a massive Eagles fan, so I'm never going to give the Cowboys credit.
No way. So I called Cat. He called fact. For the 3 spot, they got the Giants at 9-8. And then the Commanders at 7-10. Fact or cap on these two?
I got cap. I got the Commanders finishing above the Giants myself.
Okay.
No
Daniel Jones fans around here, huh?
Oh, absolutely not. I think Jaden Daniels is actually going to be pretty good. I just think that the Giants are in just a weird spot in general. In the same breath, I could see the Giants fighting for Dayball's but his job in New York and kind of keeping them afloat. But my gut feeling tells me the Commanders are better than the Giants with Jaden Daniels, so that's where I have him. I got the Commanders at 3 and the Giants at 4.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Jaden Daniels for sure, but I'm going to go fact on this one still. I think that the Commanders, we were talking about just sorry organizations and the bottom tier teams. I think that they're just sorry. Like, that whole place is sorry. I have an inside source there. One of my boys works with the Commanders. And it's ugly. It's ugly there. The Giants, it's New York. It's like, I just want them to not be in the last spot. I think just like it's fun when New York teams are better. 3 spots, still not good, but your division's tough with the top 2.
Exactly.
I go fact on here. I think Malik Neighbors is a very, very good receiver, but I'm hoping for something from Daniel Jones here this year. I mean, he got the beard now. He's looking a little bit different now, so I call fact. Moving on, though.
Okay.
NFC North. We got the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions are tied with the same record here, Juan, at 11-6. Fact or cap?
I think that's fact. I think they're going to battle all year, those two teams. I think the Lions are a bit better. So I got the Lions winning that division, but I think it's fact that those two teams could easily finish the season with the same record, and their matchups are going to determine who wins that division. So I got fact on that one.
Yeah, I also got fact on that one. I mean, the Packers and Lions are obviously the best two teams in this division.
Yeah.
1 or 2 spot, it doesn't matter. I love the Lions, obviously, more than the Packers, coming from a Vikings fan. And I just, in general, I think Jared Goff has been looking very solid over there. Amon-Ra, very, very good player. I love watching him play. Explosive. Packers are just young. I really want to see how Jordan Love comes out this year. If he comes out firing or if he throws 6 interceptions in 2 games. I mean, we don't know what we'll get. I mean, he was ending the season firing last year.
Yeah.
In the beginning, he was not that solid, and I think people totally just forgot about that because people were so obsessed with him by the end of the year.
Yeah, he was pretty mid beginning of the season. I agree with that. And then he did turn it on. They get the Eagles week 1, so I think it'll be a good test on both sides to kind of see. The Eagles secondary is not bad. It's the middle of the field and the pass rush. It's kind of meh. But it'll be a good test for the Eagles defense to see how they can go against a top 10 quarterback, and it'll be a good test for Jordan Love to see if he's still got that fire in him that he did at the end of the year when he was lighting the Cowboys up in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think it's good for you guys, or good for them, that it's not in Philly and that it's all the way in Brazil.
100%.
And the fact that you're not allowed to wear green.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this could be helping out a little bit. I mean, even though both are green, but
what's interesting was Jordan Love when they played the Eagles a couple years ago in Philly when Jalen went off for like 150 rushing yards. Jordan Love actually came into that game and threw like an 80-yard touchit. So Jordan Love's played. He's played in Philly, but he didn't start. But I think he's definitely a bit lucky that they're going to Brazil and not coming to the link because rowdy environment down there. First game of the season, a Friday night too.
It would have been crazy. So now for the 3rd and 4th spot here, you got the Vikings at 8 and 9, Bears at 7 and 10. Fact or cat?
That's fact. That's exactly how I have it too.
Yeah, I'd have to agree on that one. I mean, those teams really aren't going to do anything this year. J.J. McCarthy going down, absolutely just. They're fully relying on Sam Darnold now. When that was the plan originally anyway, but I'm sure that was going to change by like week 10,
Yeah,
11.
You get a gauge on how it's going.
Yeah.
If you're, 3 and 6 through 10 weeks, then you make a change.
Yeah.
But now they don't have that luxury, so I don't think they'll be bad. I still think the Vikings have solid weapons.
Yeah.
And I don't think Darnold's horrible. I think Darnold needs to be in a position where he's never had weapons like a Jefferson and an Addison, you know, and then when Hawkinson comes back. So we'll see, but I think the Bears could surprise some people. I liked what I saw from Caleb Williams.
I did too.
I like DJ Moore and Keenan being his guys. I'm a big Cole Kmet guy, as you know. DeAndre Swift coming in. I think that offense is actually kind of built to somewhat succeed. It all depends on coaching and how Caleb adjusts to NFL defenses and things like that. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears do kind of sneak out of the basement in that division.
Yeah, I also agree with you there. I think Caleb Williams, his biggest issue is going to be interceptions in the beginning. I think he's going to think that he has openings that he does not have because the defenses in the secondaries are just way quicker in the NFL.
Facts.
NFC South, we've got for the top 2 in this division. They don't even have double-digit wins in this one.
Of course,
you got the Falcons 9 and 8, Saints 7 and 10. Fact or cat?
I got big old cap on that one. I got the Saints finishing last. I think it's going to be a rough year for the Saints. Ooh. I think that I don't like Dennis Kelly. I don't like David Carr, Derek Carr, whichever one it is. I don't know. I watched this team destroy the Eagles in the playoffs last year and get no recognition on this list. I got the Bucs winning that division.
Okay.
There's nothing about that team that doesn't tell me that they can't. You got Mike Evans, you got Godwin, Rashad White's pretty good. I like Baker. O-line's good. Defense was good last year. They won the division at 7 and 10, 8 and 9, something like that. But that's basically what this was looking like. So I got the Bucs winning that division and the Saints finishing dead last.
Yeah. I mean, I'm wishy-washy with that, but yeah, like you said, Bucs are getting no recognition on this list. AI has them at 6 and 11 in 3rd, and Carolina Panthers 5 and 12. This is probably the worst division that I think AI put together so far. I'm actually gonna go Falcons taking this division with Kirkio Cousins.
I can see it. Yeah,
I like it with the 9 wins. I do like that AI, but then Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be right behind them with about 8 wins, I would say.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be close. No matter what, 1 game away.
I'm interested to see what the Panthers look like, too.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't have a ton of hope, but I'm interested.
Yeah,
wanna see
I was
what
about to
Bryce
say
Young
I don't really
does.
have much hope about them right now.
It's, that's a number 1 pick. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Bryce Young, but I'm not gonna lie, I was a CJ Stroud guy forever. I loved him.
He didn't look amazing last year, even with no help. Nothing about Bryce Young's game screamed out to me that he's going to be a star. So
It's tough when you're 5'10", and like just
100%,
laying small and just like you're undersized. It's bad.
And your number 1 receiver is Adam Thielen.
Yeah, that definitely will not help you. Moving on to the last division, NFC West. They've got the Niners at 12-5. Fact or cap on this one?
Pains me to say, but I'll go fact. I think the Niners are just a great roster. Purdy's kind of proven to you that he's more than a system quarterback. I still think he is a very, very good system quarterback, but he's proven to you that he can get games won for you.
Yeah.
And nobody else in that division really scares me. I think the Rams are going to be good, but I don't have them competing with the Niners, so I'll say fact on that.
Okay. I know I've talked to you before, and I've said the Rams are going to win this division. That's a hot take type of John. That's not like I'm going to call fact or cap on AI about.
Yeah.
You can't say that the Niners aren't going to win it. Like, that's just how I feel. I feel like they are a team that can get over double-digit wins very easily.
Yeah.
So, like, they have them at 12-5. I do like that AI, sadly. But I got the Rams with 11 wins right on them. I think they're going to be right there. I like their team this year. So, I do think that they could take this division. It depends on what happens with the 49ers. I don't think Ayuk's leaving. I think that you got to hope that Debo is – he's one of those guys that also puts himself into harm's way.
Yeah.
If he gets too banged up, God forbid CMC gets banged up, that's when I see the division flipping.
Yeah, and we said it before, right? Like, injuries are going to play a huge factor in this. Even if Brock goes down, then I think Josh Dobbs is their backup.
Yeah.
So, like, we'll see. And then that'll really show you how good Brock is if Josh Dobbs is able to come in and light it up too. But
Yeah.
I like the Rams a lot. I think McVay and Stafford work really well together, and then you throw Puka and Kupp on that offense. I think that I agree.
Kyron Williams,
yeah, I think they could get to 11 wins, but I just think that Niners team is just so well rounded and so well coached that it's hard to bet against them.
Yeah, 1,000%. So for the last 2 spots, the Rams at 8-9 they got, and then Cardinals at 8-9. Is that factor? Is that cap to end this?
Rams at 8-9, Cardinals 8-9.
Yeah.
Where they got the Seahawks?
Oh, I didn't even say that. They had the Seahawks at 10-7. Wow, I totally flipped that out. Yeah, totally didn't even look at that one.
I think this is a pretty big cap division here.
I also would have to say that.
I don't got the Cardinals winning that many games. I don't have the Seahawks winning double digits. I got Niners, Rams, Seahawks, Cardinals. We'll see with the Cardinals. I think that they need a genuine offensive-minded coach to kind of bring out the best in Kyler, bring out the best in Marvin Harrison Jr. So I don't got them winning that many. I've always not been a huge Kyler guy. He's my fantasy quarterback at the moment, but when it comes to winning games, I just don't love him. So that's a cap division right there. I don't love that.
Yeah, I don't think that the Seahawks are getting double-digit wins. That's why my brain just skipped right over that when I read it. Geno Smith, like, okay, bro. And then you got, like, DK, and you've got Tyler Lockett. You've got, like, Smith and Jigba. Like, I don't hate it, but also, like, I just don't like that. Like, I don't like their team in general. I don't think that they have the cohesiveness. I don't like them at second.
It's another, first year coach.
Exactly. I just don't like the fact that they have them at double-digit wins right here, with the Rams only having 8 wins. So AI, NFC West is cap.
Big cap.
Yeah, so that's going to conclude this episode. We just wanted to ask AI going into this football season because it's almost here and we are ready to talk more ball and see where their head's at about the divisions. And I think they were pretty spot on with like 3 divisions.
Yeah, it wasn't horrible, but we had to pick it apart a little bit.
Just a tad. The last 2 were absolutely abysmal, though. But thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment below, hit that subscribe button, and peace.
In trouble. He's going to be sacked. No, gets away. He runs, gets away.